Did you see him the last week before he passed?
Of course, man.
So
he came to New York and had some new tracks for Bone, and one of his girl groups called what was they called?
H0ES or in H0ES WIT Attitudes.
No, these girls was called Big Chan and Feasty and Raymond. That group called
Doggy's Angels.
No, that was Chan with Snoop.
Okay, Chan was in there though. Okay.
Gangster mentality. They had tracks with them and all that kind of shit, man. You know, and I'm telling you, man, Rhythm D did a badass album on them girls that never came out. I don't know what happened to it, but I heard it, man. That shit was bad ass, and somebody got it stashed away somewhere, man. But I heard the whole album, man. That shit was bad. Them girls came with the heat, the fire, man. You know, they was even better than H0ES WIT Attitude, because all they rapped about was sucking and you know, like that. You know, but yeah, man, and Eazy was, you know, kicking it with us, telling, you know, like when y'all finish up this little road trip y'all on, I want y'all back in the studio on this day, and I want y'all to put some lyrics to these tracks I got. And he was playing the track there in the hotel and stuff. And that was the last time I seen Eazy walking, man, when he came to the hotel and brought them new tracks for Bone.
You know, up until this interview, I'd never heard of the group Gangsta B Mentality. But after researching, looking into it, I definitely recognize a couple of the players. Chan ended up being part of a group called Doggy's Angels, a short-lived group that Snoop Dogg managed, and they were part of his label. I believe it was Doggy Style Records. That was a dope group, and they had a great project that came out that I bump to this day. That Doggy's Angels. Check it out, Doggy's Angels, when you get a chance. But Chan was part of that, and who else was part of Gangsta B Mentality was Silk-E Fine, who has a very interesting story in the hip-hop game. And my co-host Alonzo Williams and I had the chance to interview Silk-E Fine. So I'm going to be posting clips of our Silk-E Fine interview as well. But she was part of Eazy-E's camp. She has stories with Dr. Dre, Death Row. Her story is also amazing. Silk-E Fine. But yeah, never really knew about Gangsta B Mentality. Unfortunately, Eazy passed at a time where he was allegedly promoting them and getting them ready to be released. That's an unfortunate story. I did know about H0ES WIT Attitudes. They were supposed to be the female spinoff of H0ES WIT Attitudes. Didn't really care for them, you know, as a kid, as a 13, 14-year-old, you know, I'm looking at them. I'm, you know, touching myself a little bit, you know, like, you know, like, because I remember the booties and all that, so I was cool with that, you know, but other than that, I wasn't really feeling them whatsoever. Eazy-E also had a white female artist that he was trying to sign, or he did sign, or something along the lines, but Tairrie B. There's a very interesting story on Tairrie B, and I have some footage and some content on Tairrie B that I'll be releasing as well. I'm telling you, man, if you want the real hip-hop, you are tuned into the perfect place. DustyVisionTV. This is where you need to be, especially when it comes to West Coast hip-hop. I like doing deep dives into West Coast hip-hop because we need to tell our own story. You know, the 50-year anniversary passed, you know, a few years ago or whatever, but, you know, no one really tells the West Coast story. You know what I mean? East Coast gets all the love, but the West Coast has its story in itself, and that's why I am here. If you like these clips, especially this one with Animal that I posted, then you definitely have to subscribe to NWA Stories with Alonzo. NWA Stories with Alonzo on YouTube. Alonzo Williams is the godfather of West Coast hip hop. He is the reason why Eazy-E is here. I mean, he's the reason why you know Eazy-E's name. I mean, he's the reason why you know Ice Cube's name, Dr. Dre, so many other people. And if you like what we do over here on DustyVisionTV, as a hip hop fanatic, you will love what we do over at NWA Stories with Alonzo. So make sure you hit that subscribe button over there and check us out. We go live every single Tuesday and we talk West Coast hip hop amongst other things that are going on. But I'd love to hear your comments below. What do you think of this Animal interview so far? And if you want to check out the full interview, the link is in the description. Go ahead and click below. And once again, after you check out the full interview, make sure you hit the subscribe button for NWA Stories with Alonzo. And if you like this clip, you just might like this bonus clip that I'm about to play right now. Very few people know that in 1990, the late great Eazy-E signed a white rapper. Not only that, she was a white female rapper. She went by the name of Tairrie B. Little is known about Tairrie B. I remember being younger and seeing Eazy-E hanging out with this white girl for a brief period of time. I remember a picture in a magazine or something. Fast forward to the advent of the internet, and she was one of the first people I started searching for, trying to get more detail on this white chick that Eazy-E supposedly signed to his label Comptown Records, a subsidiary of Ruthless. I couldn't find anything. Even today, there is very little about the rap career of Tairrie B. Even the people I know in my personal life who knew Eazy personally, they can tell me very little about Tairrie B. What do we know about her? Tairrie B was somehow involved in a short-lived hip-hop show titled Slammin' Rap Video Magazine, where she interviewed the likes of Schoolie D and her label boss, Eazy-E.
You listen to rock and roll?
Everything.
Everything. What's like your
Heavy
favorite
metal.
rock band? What's like a rock band you like?
Rock band. Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses? You don't have a problem with Guns N' Roses?
Nah.
Cool.
I remember The Box. I remember WHlTE Raps, BT, Pump It Up with D Barnes. But I don't remember, as a kid, ever watching a show called Slammin' Rap Video Magazine.
That's the name of this jam. Listen to what I'm saying, trying to get an understanding.
Comment down below, did anybody listening right now ever watch that show? There are several episodes on YouTube that I have since watched, and I tell you, it's a great trip down memory lane. Whenever you're feeling a little hip-hop nostalgia, go down that rabbit hole and check out some videos of Slammin' Rap Video Magazine. If you are a true old-school hip-hop fan, you won't be disappointed. Now, back to Tairrie B. She released her debut album, Power of a Woman, on June 12, 1990, via Comptown, Ruthless, and MCA Records, literally becoming the first white female to ever release a solo rap album. In fact, this would become the only album ever released on Eazy-E's Comptown Records. Recording sessions took place at Audio Achievements in Torrance and Echo Sound in Los Feliz. Production was handled by Quincy Jones III, Bilal Bashir, Greg Kewen, Schoolie D, and Tairrie B herself, who also served as executive producer. It features guest appearances from Eazy-E and Everlast from House of Pain. Despite gaining rather favorable reviews, it did not manage to chart on the Billboard. However, two singles, Murder, She Wrote and Swingin' with T, placed themselves at 27 and 28, respectively, on the U.S. Hot Rap Singles charts. In this era, it was customary for all of the members of NWA to appear on the last song of an album by an artist affiliated with the group. The grand finale by the DOC, for example, was the last song Ice Cube appeared on with the rest of the members of NWA. The last song on Power of a Woman by Tairrie B was supposed to be called I Ain't Your Bitch. Ice Cube was going to write the lyrics. It would have been something along the lines of It's a Man's World from America's Most Wanted, in which the members of NWA would take turns calling Tairrie B a bitch, and then she'd go off on them in the very last verse. For some reason, she didn't like this idea. Instead, she recorded a song called Ruthless Bitch, dissing NWA and even other ruthless artists like JJ Fad. She said Dre looked like a faggot when he was in World Class Wrecking Crew and accused him of lifting a lot of the samples on Straight Outta Compton from Ultimate Breaks and Beats. Dr. Dre heard the song and, needless to say, was none too pleased. He confronted Tairrie B and her manager at a party for the 1990 Grammys. Thinking there was no way Dr. Dre would beat up a woman in front of Dick Clark, New Kids on the Block, and Janet Jackson, no less, Tairrie B refused to back down. When Dr. Dre heard the track, he turned up at the awards ceremony party where he punched Tairrie twice, once in the mouth and once in the eye, allegedly. She said, "He hit me like Tyson, but I took it. I don't know how." LAPD broke up the fight and took a statement from Tairrie B. She told them that the guy who did it was the same guy who did the song "Fuck the Police." Later, she was paid to drop the charges. She was told her album wouldn't come out if she didn't. At that point, she went back to the studio and re-recorded Ruthless Bitch to include a reference to Dr. Dre putting a shoe on her at the Grammys. Much to Eazy-E's and Ruthless Records' displeasure, shortly after the release of her debut album, she switched up styles and decided to try her hand in the rap metal scene, forming a group called Manhole. Her subject matter touched on topics such as violence against women, racial tension, pro-choice issues, police brutality, and abusive relationships. Tairrie B cites Ice-T as one of her main inspirations behind taking her music in that direction around this time. She had seen Ice-T perform with his rock band Body Count and really loved the experience. She stated in an interview, "Seeing Ice-T, who was a hardcore gangster rapper, rock with a heavy band backing him spoke to me loudly." Eazy-E and Tairrie B parted ways shortly after this, and in fact, she was still signed to him up until just before his death when Eazy let her out of her contract. Tairrie B is still releasing and performing metal music to this day. Her and her band have actually built up quite a cult following.
I've been in my band now for 12 years. In March, it'll be 12 years. Well, actually, 13 for me, but I met my husband in 2000. I started my ruin in 1999 after Manhole and Tour Satana. And Mick and I have, Mick, who's my guitar player, we have been together for 12 years and been doing it strong and, you know, writing and recording and touring together. And, you know, I think our influences are each other in our life.
Tairrie B, what an interesting story. First and only white girl to be signed to Eazy-E's Comptown Records. I wish she did more interviews talking about her days with Eazy and Ruthless. But she probably has her own personal reasons why she doesn't.